Before we get into anything, GBFC Selects, the link is in the description below. It's my free-to-play game where every time Chelsea play, including tomorrow against Sheffield United, there is £1,000 to be won simply by answering 10 very simple questions about the game that we are about to witness. You've got to get your submissions in before the game kicks off. Got to be 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Link is down below. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel, the home of, well, embarrassing moments. We've got a meme page now, flipping me, Eunice and Jan, we're all over flipping Instagram with a meme page. I mean, can you bloody believe it? As if a guy who sits there with a blue neon sign behind his back gets memed and put on social media. I can't quite believe it, but apparently everyone now believes that I want to touch Hamit Altintop's balls, which is kind of not the truth, but it was a moment yesterday. I mean, it was earlier today for me, but yesterday when you guys watched this, the Champions League quarter-final draw. I want to touch upon this first of all, because I think it's also very important because it leads directly into the body language and the information conveyed by the words of Thomas Tuchel in his pre-match press conference for Sheffield United. It is a big buzz around Chelsea Football Club right now. We've got ourselves a favourable draw in tomorrow's game, tomorrow's game against Sheffield United, and the Porto draw is the best we could have asked for. And I think you could see the excitement with Thomas Tuchel in this pre-match interview, because he knows that even though every match in this stage of any competition is not going to be easy when you get to the last 8, we know that we avoided Bayern, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City, well, and Borussia Dortmund, you know. Real Madrid, Liverpool and Porto are in our side of the draw, and I think if Chelsea fans are being realistic and honest, I think we would say that it couldn't have really gone much better for us. There's a lot of people saying to me, you know what, you shouldn't be reacting the way you did. You've not beaten Porto yet. They're a good side. They knocked out Juventus. They got a result in Turin. Granted, but I said this on Twitter, the way I like to manage myself as a football fan when it comes to reactions, expectations, there's macro moments you get in football when you win a cup, you win the league, and for a large period of time there is an ecstatic feeling inside of you as a football fan. It's the best feeling in the world, and not every football fan gets to experience this because their club might not be able to challenge, and we can laugh about it, but it's the truth. When these little moments where there's not even a game on today, the micro victory of getting that favourable draw against Porto, for me as a football fan, it is a massive reason to celebrate, because football's not just about 90 minutes and results. It's about the whole experience of dreaming, of believing, of creating these scenarios in your mind, of turning up in Istanbul and drinking a Turkish coffee and getting ready to watch your team in a final. These micro moments and celebrations are worth it, I promise you. If you're a football fan who is pessimistic and doesn't want to jinx things, so you keep your mouth shut and don't get excited, I swear, you're missing out on an opportunity to really feel good. Not just about yourself, but about the collective feeling of being a football fan and being involved in a community. Little side rant there before we get into the video today, but bringing it back to Thomas Tuchel, our manager. He's unbeaten right now, 11 clean sheets in 13 games. I love the man. You guys know, who follow me quite closely, be it on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you'll know that psychology is a massive personal interest in mine, particularly when it comes to football. And I find it fascinating in the most unfascinating way when I watch interviews with footballers, with managers, because they're also well media trained that they know the words to avoid and the ways of answering questions that could possibly allow their words to be misconstrued by the media. And I love watching this and seeing this, but with Thomas Tuchel, he does something that a lot of managers that I've watched interviews with, Chelsea managers, other football managers, they don't do it. They don't elaborate on their points. They try to keep things very concise. They don't allow their minds to wander into talking about anything other than simply answering the question. What I absolutely love about Thomas Tuchel's interviews is that he talks about emotion. He talks about atmospheres. He talks about, you know, things that can't just be defined by a statistic. He talks about these non-numerical things that make me feel very excited about the overall atmosphere of what he's creating here at Chelsea, not just for us fans, but within the dressing room as well. When Thomas Tuchel was asked about whether he'd seen the reaction in the stands in the game against Atletico from Thiago Silva, Mason Mount and Jorginho, but specifically Thiago Silva, the way that he responds to this is exactly what I think is going on in his mind, but most football managers don't say it. He's talking about how he really relishes the fact that even though the players might not be on the pitch, they actually hold such an important place within the collective success right now, micro success, that Chelsea are experiencing. And the way that he talked about this, I thought was absolutely golden. It was a pretty good press conference from Tuchel. I think obviously with the Champions League win against Atletico, the Champions League draw, it was kind of always going to be that the questions would be targeted around that, as opposed to talking about our FA Cup quarter-final opponent Sheffield United. There wasn't that much information about team news that really gave me that much of an inclination as to what he's going to do. So for that reason, when we do go through my lineup in a moment, I do believe we'll stick with the same formation, 3-4-2-1, but I do think a couple of players will switch here and there because we know that Thomas Tuchel, despite there being an international break coming up, we know that he does like to tinker with things because he is a tactical-minded manager who goes game by game depending on who the opponents are. So far, so good. Whichever way you want to look at Thomas Tuchel's lineups, which a lot of people, myself included, still sometimes go, is this really the best? Why is Pulisic on the bench? Why is there no Hudson-Odoi? And every time it seems to be vindicated. But for Sheffield United on Sunday, tomorrow, it's an interesting game because they've no longer got Chris Wilder as their manager, the man who took them from League One all the way into the Premier League and overachieved dramatically last season. This year, it really does look as though they're going down. Chris Wilder leaves, they're absolutely battered away at Leicester City, and they go into this game at Chelsea knowing that Chelsea are in incredibly good form. There's a huge buzz around Chelsea Football Club right now, and for Sheffield United, they are massive underdogs here. They're going into this one in dreadful form, disarray on and off the field, but it doesn't mean to say that we definitely won't see the magic of the FA Cup, which is a team that are not expected to do so well, come into one of the big boys and really giving them a good game and potentially knocking them out the competition. I don't think that's going to happen because I think this Chelsea team and the way that Tuchel's managing them right now shows just how important every single game is. He doesn't want to look too far ahead at FA Cup finals or semi-finals and quarter-finals of Champions Leagues or anything about the Premier League because the focus is solely on getting through to go to Wembley into an FA Cup semi-final. I've been talking a lot at the beginning of this video, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. If we can hit 4,000 likes before kickoff, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. The lineup, let's go through this one. I've made a change for the goalkeeper today. I've given a start to Kepa Arrizabalaga. He's not really had much of a look in, but when he has played, he's looked very good. He got clean sheet at Barnsley, clean sheet at home to Newcastle. And I think Tuchel will give him an opportunity here. I think Mendy's been outstanding recently. Chelsea aren't conceding goals whatsoever. Mendy's making big saves against both Leeds and Atletico Madrid. But I think we'd give Kepa a chance for this one because Tuchel said he wants to be fair. And I do think he'll rotate a little bit after that game against Atletico Madrid. We move into a back three that I've gone with an unchanged back line for this game. Thiago Silva, Tuchel said in his press conference, is not going to be rushed back into this game. So no Thiago Silva against Sheffield United. Shame, but it is what it is. The others are doing very well. As for Christensen, maybe Christensen comes back. I watched the whole press conference about flipping 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago because I've been going for 9 minutes here on the camera. But I don't know about Christensen being ready, but I would stick with the same back line that was so good in that game against Atletico Madrid. We move into the two wing-backs, full-backs, right midfielder, left midfielder, whichever way you want to look at it. And I've made two changes for this one. I've brought Alonso out the team, and I've given the left wing-back role to the man who scored the goal that really clinched it for Chelsea against Atletico, Emerson. That goal that he scored, I think it gets him a start for this one against Sheffield United. And on the right-hand side, I've gone with Callum Hudson-Odoi, a man who I actually thought was a bit unlucky not to play the game against Atletico Madrid on Wednesday night. But again, Tuchel's decision, totally vindicated by the starting 11 he chose. It's an interesting one because there is an international break straight after this game. So maybe Tuchel just wants to go with exactly the same team that beat Atletico, but it wasn't that many days ago. So I'm also inclined to believe that he will continue to experiment with different players in different positions in order to know what his best Chelsea squad is. We move into a central midfield two, And again, it's absolutely nothing against either Kante or Kovacic, and I've come to the decision that Kante's display against Atletico, I think, was his best he's ever had in a Chelsea shirt. Kovacic was phenomenal as well. However, I have pulled both of them out of the starting 11 for this one, and I've put in Jorginho and Billy Gilmour. I think it's an interesting one with Gilmour because we knew under Frank Lampard that he was always trying to fit him in. Under Thomas Tuchel, it's been very clear that Jorginho, Kovacic and Kante are three very important members of his squad. So with Billy, he's kind of been missing out quite a lot. But I think he'll start this one because, well, it is the FA Cup. Again, it's a competition I want to win. Chelsea desperately want to win it. But against the Sheffield United team in disarray the way they are, I think Jorginho and Billy Gilmour could easily control this game for Chelsea if they're playing alongside one another. We move into a very exciting front three. Mason Mount missed out the game against Atletico through suspension. I've brought Mason back into the side and I've put him alongside Christian Pulisic and Timo Werner. It's a very exciting Chelsea attack. I think Pulisic will start from the beginning, and I've said it ever since the Atletico Madrid game. I think this is a massive game for Christian Pulisic. It is the FA Cup, but it's against Premier League opposition. And that breakaway moment when he gets that assist for Emerson against Atletico was exactly what we want from Pulisic. We want explosive pace, we want forward thinking and decisive final third passing. And I think that in itself fills me with the confidence that Pulisic can start this game and actually deliver a very big performance so that when these massive matches, you've got West Brom in the Premier League, must win at Stamford Bridge before that first leg against Porto, he'll be in contention for starting places if he manages to put in a solid display. As for Timo Werner again, Tuchel's very happy with the work that Werner's putting in. I gave him a green box after the game against Atletico, and I've been impressed with Timo in that last game, and I hope that he starts against Sheffield United and he manages to put in a performance where he gets himself a goal in a big knockout game for Chelsea Football Club. The bench, you guys can see the bench. There is so much quality in this Chelsea team. I want to say that just because I've dropped Ziyech out of the team here, not because I've got an agenda against him. I want to clear this one up once and for all. I've just got high expectations of a lot of these Chelsea players, and sometimes if they don't deliver up to what I think they can, which we saw with Ziyech's display against Atletico, we should criticise and we should pull little hairs out here and there because we've got so many other good players that can fit in. And I always believe football should be a meritocracy, but at the same time, with Chelsea's squad depth, we should be giving minutes to players like Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi in a different position, one that we know he can definitely do. Timo Werner to get him that goal, Gilmour, Jorginho. It's a strong Chelsea lineup. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. And yeah, I want to say a big thank you again. The channel is growing very nicely right now. You guys are showing a lot of love on the videos, and like I said at the beginning, if you want to go and sign up for GBFC Selects, it's totally free to play. You just got to be 18 plus and you can win yourself £1,000 if you answer the 10 most, well, easiest questions in the world and you get them right. It's as straightforward as that really, but I'm going to wrap this one up here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. I've been trying my absolute hardest to get it to come from my Mac with a nice camera, this one, and loads of nice graphics. Everything's made. It's just my MacBook just doesn't like it for whatever reason. I need to find some software that actually works in favour. But if not, it will just be from the phone. But I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who tuned in for the Champions League live stream. I think we peaked at like 6,000 viewers, which is mental. So if you do want to tune in tomorrow for Sheffield United watch along, make sure you do so. It'll be a nice chill one. Have a beer, have a coffee, whatever you want to do. I'll be doing the same. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you all tomorrow. Come on, you Blues.